Democrat and Republican, two opposing political parties that continuously go against each other. There is a constant battle of lying and fabricating information about the opposing side. This constant slander, false accusations, and outright lies often frustrates and confuses many. However, this is one of the biggest reasons I decided to not be involved with any political party. I see both parties as opposite sides of the same coin. They both bash and hate each other, think each other are wrong, and talk about policies to combat the opposition, but when it comes time for action, neither side actually wants to do anything. The political game is often one that is all talk and no action, and the action that is taken is often carried out in secret, covered up with lies, and actually harms the citizens instead of working in their favor. I know plenty of people on both political sides, and while we often do not talk about politics or the things we disagree with, I've personally found that it's harder for me to relate to the ideas of the Democratic Party. That's not to say that the Republican Party is much better, but some of the ideas make a lot more sense to me. When I first started to learn about the healthy ways to heal the body and how so much information was hidden from us, I soon discovered the bias in the news media. I came to the realization that most of the major news television stations, as well as online publications, are often Democratic sources. There are a few exceptions, of course. It's also astounding to see how many of the news outlets use scare tactics, fear-mongering, and don't actually provide any useful information. We have several, just off the top of my head, news stations that continue to lie to their audience, have been caught so many times, but people still watch them. Some of the worst are CNN, MSNBC, and the Washington Post. For Republican news stations, there are far fewer, but the most popular one is Fox News. While their content may differ from that of their competitors, they are still funded by the pharmaceutical industry and instill fear and cause people to have an inner hatred towards the Democrats. All news stations and publications have a bias, and will often ignore fraud within their own party and try to put a pretty bow on everything their party does, while making the opposition party look as bad as possible, even going to great lengths to edit footage, misrepresenting someone's quotes, or flat out lying because they know most people will blindly believe them without question. There's also a bias of major social media sites, which are all Democratic-run sites, to do the same, promote stories that make their party look better, and censor, delete, and deplatform anyone who disagrees with it, which may be Republicans, conservatives, and free and independent thinkers. I classify myself as the latter since I think for myself, and no fake news station will tell me how I should feel about a political party, the president, or about what should and shouldn't go into my body for optimal health. 2020 has shown to me that even serious world matters, mandates, and other laws that are put into place by the government that are supposedly meant to help the citizens have divided people. 2020 was largely a political war, not one of an invisible enemy. This political divide should not separate us, but rather unite us. We should see our differences and embrace them, not attack them. So I stand firm with freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and I respect your views if you disagree with me. Censorship and silencing opposing voices has to end now. This is one of the major reasons many people are switching over to alternative news that is not run by Democrats or Republicans. Finding alternative news, however, can be a challenge since all major social media platforms will often ban them without any actual real evidence to back up their reasoning. So, find alternative outlets, do your own research, and ditch the mainstream media. They have lied to the public for decades, so it's time to let go of them and embrace your own ability to research and learn. Don't use Google search either, since that too is manipulated in a way to bury alternative news sources. Let me know how this works for you. Have a great day.